Yo! What's good, y'all? Sparks, man. Today we're back again with another video. This is going to be just us talking a little bit. Now, I know y'all already heard about it by now. WWE Raw. Main thing and the only thing I'm gonna talk about here is the John Cena Cody Rhodes promo. Y'all, I just got back. I just got up from a nap, so if I feel a little, you know what I'm saying, if it still sounds a little bit of tiredness in the voice, that's what it came from. But anyway, I'm not even gonna try to quote every line from this promo. I'm just gonna go about my thoughts on it and key lines I got from it because I feel like y'all need to go watch the John Cena Cody Rhodes back and forth promo. They had a face to face promo, and basically, I'm not even like I said, I'm not even about to try to quote the whole thing because it's just not enough justice. I've already seen it like 4 times. I've seen this back and forth. I mean, it was a good back and forth and really got you hyped for WrestleMania. So basically, for my wrestling fans out there, John Cena and Cody Rhodes had a face to face promo, and basically what happened was we started the show like how we would start the show all the time. Cena music hits at the beginning of the show. And right as Cena comes out there, he's got the towel, he's holding it behind his head with the last time is now on it. And then right as he's about to say something, we heard the dome dome. Wrestling has more than one royal family, and that boy Cody came down to the ring, did the woes, the crowd was cheering, crowd was into it. I know somebody said, yeah, because this is the last time we're gonna be in Europe, because they were doing their European tour. They were in London, last night, and someone said, "Uh oh, back to the American crowds where they're just gonna get the what chants, right?" Because they always do the what in between sentences in America, and over in the UK they get creative with their chants, so we don't even really ever hear the European crowds do that. But yeah, they got done right. Yep, back to America with the what chants. It's different culture over there in the UK because they don't get shows like that, and then on top of that, like I said, it's just a different culture in the UK, so they can get creative with the chants and they do the singing and all of it. But anyway, so in this promo, you have the Cody Rhodes. But then after that, you also heard Let's Go Cena stuff. So these guys are over, and obviously former top babyface, current top babyface, and now Cena's a bad guy, and Cody is the good guy here. But anyway, promo started off with Cody. I like how Cody, like I said, I'm not gonna quote every line. I promise you, I'm gonna miss some lines. Y'all actually go watch it for yourselves. But yeah, like I said, not gonna quote every line, just go quote what I remember. But yeah, so basically the promo started off from Cody saying, uh, let me guess, basically him saying, let me guess you're gonna come out here and let me guess now this is the time where you're basically supposed to cook me. You know how people say you cook somebody when you really go into them on the microphone, trash talk and stuff like that. So like, they like, oh, because that's the thing, John Cena does cook a lot of people on the microphone, basically goes into their character and basically why they're not ready or not on Cena's level, and he's had a consistent string of cooking people on the mic. And Cena and Cody was like, "What are you gonna talk about? You're gonna talk about like he was thinking of some negative things that he might talk about. Okay, I struggle with the letter S, because I have a lisp." And then he said, "I'll give you one that starts with the letter S, Stardust, right? You're gonna be in the main event of WrestleMania against Stardust." And he said, "Okay, what else? You're gonna talk about the fact that." And I think he might have saw a sign in the crowd that said this, and he was like, "Oh, you're gonna talk about the fact that I have a arm tattoo that's on my neck, right? The American Nightmare logo tattoo on his neck." He was like, you gonna talk about the fact that I, got booed in a company I created, and whatever the case may be." He was like, "I know you're not gonna bite on a lot of this, John, but basically just getting it out there that he's gonna, cook him or whatever." And he got that out there, and John Cena fired back. The first time we actually seen them interact with more than like one word to each other. The first time they interact, like I have an actual conversation, and Cena says, "Oh, I'm not gonna cook you, Cody. I'm gonna," or first he said, "I'm not gonna stoop down to surface level insults like that." He was like, "I'm not gonna cook you, Cody. I'm gonna bury you." And I'm like, oh man, that boy Cena. I mean, if Cena was already a savage on the mic when he was cooking people as a top babyface in his later years of his career, uh, now imagine freaking heel Cena. This is just him times 10. But like I said, I'm not gonna quote every line, man. Cena basically was saying that Cody is a he said that John Cena said, they say that John Cena buries talent because that's the thing that people have said about John Cena. John Cena said, "I don't bury talent. I am talent and I bury mediocrity." So basically saying he is talent, what he buries as mediocrity. And so boom, he basically came out there and said that Cody, without his music, without his entrance, he's just a he's basically saying that without his music and his entrance that he was a mediocre, individual, mediocrity, and saying that he's just basically John Cena said that you're just, my errand boy. You know what I'm saying? You'll go down as that because they used to ride up and down the roads together. And he said you can't steal the blueprint and think that you can control the kingdom, which is another way of saying you can't do what I like. Cody and John have similar personalities as far as a top babyface being that superhero-esque top babyface. So he's basically saying you can't steal the way I did things and be in on all the secrets I've given you and think that you can basically have the same impact I had. And he said he was what else did he say? He was a psychopathic nepo baby who got lucky. And I mean, it was all types of lines here. I'm trying to get them the best I could remember them, but yeah. And he was like, "Oh no! I remember." He said that without the interest in the music, you're just like basically he's just some guy in a pin dressed suit. And he said he said a lot, bro. He said that he was just he comes out here and he doesn't act like John Cena. He doesn't walk like John Cena. He doesn't talk like John Cena. But he also doesn't walk, talk, and act like Cody Rhodes, because basically saying Cody Rhodes when he's out here, it's not himself. And John Cena was like, these people basically Cena said that he's learned from these past 20 years, and he said that these people see through phony. They see through, basically, you being fake and not being your authentic self. They see through the BS, and that all Cody Rhodes is someone who comes out here looking like a 16-year-old who takes acting classes and still struggles with public speaking. Basically saying that's what Cody looks and sounds like when he sees him. So yeah, it was a lot, man. It's hard to get all of it, but he was saying that there's another line I saw on my phone. I had on my phone, like I was trying to see if I remembered anything else. But anyway, yeah, that was another one. Cena said that you're a guy that's so into himself that you got your wrestling gimmick tattooed on yourself. And he said it's not about where your tattoo is, because he said that he was gonna go after tattoo. He said it's not where your tattoo is, it's what your or it's not where your tattoo is, it's what your tattoo is. And yeah. So yeah, it was a lot of that, but like, oh man, it's just hard to cover all of what was said here, man. But yeah, he basically called him out and basically said that he wasn't being himself, and that he was like, and John Cena was like, I'll be damned if I worked so hard to make that worked so hard to be great and make that WWE championship great, all of that for it to be held by somebody who is mediocre at best, and saying that I'm going to take that championship home, win number 17 and be the real champion, and you can go and be their champion. Because he said after you strip it all down of Cody Rhodes' interest in music, also he said you're just a common fan like them. So just like the common fans, you can go to Fanatics Fest, which is, you got all the little WWE merchant shop and stuff there. He was like, you can go and buy the toy belt and basically be their champion, right? Because he's just like, he said he's a common fan like them, so be their champion by doing what they do and buy the little toy belt. Because when I take that title from you, the WWE Championship that Cody currently has, I'm going to go down and retire with that championship and be the last real champion in the WWE. I think I got as much of it as I possibly could remember. But the crowd actually cheered at the end when he said he was going to win that championship. And the crowd started cheering. And I think it's because people were saying because the promo was so good. No, I think they were cheering because they still don't mind, because they know, it's all a work and stuff like that. They don't mind the idea of Cena winning the championship because they know how good he is in general. So I don't even know if it was so much the promo as so much they just know Cena's a big star, and they're playing along with him doing what he's doing. So they actually kind of cheered at the end when Cena said he was going to win the championship. But it's obviously because we know it, whether you love him or hate him, it's John Cena, man. Big name, massive talent. So anyway, so Cody said after that, I think Cody said that maybe you're right, maybe I am their champion, And unlike you, or maybe I was chosen because Cena had also said that Cody Rhodes was being protected for so long. Yeah, I don't know if that was a play into maybe Triple H protecting him or whatever, but he was basically saying you've been protected long enough, and how Cody Rhodes was basically chosen because of how hard John Cena worked to make that championship relevant and mean something. It's gotten to a point now where the heartbeat of this company can now go to somebody mediocre like you, basically because of all the hard work I put into building this place and making that championship. I've made it so well that it's tricked people into thinking that you being mediocre or you are great, but in reality, you mediocre. So basically, saying you trick these fans by relying on lazy gimmicks like them chanting your name. So it's so much now. I'm remembering more. That's why I'm like, God, that's so hard to cover this. But anyway, Cody fired back with maybe I was chosen by the people. But you can't say the same because the only person that chose you was somebody who used to run this company in the office who we don't talk about anymore. Obviously talking about Vince. And they got a massive from the crowd. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, what else did he say? He said, what a softball you throw me because, I'm gonna go out of order here, but he was like, what a softball you throw me because I'm sure you have more dick in that promo than you do in your jorts. And some people just thought he was saying that basically Cena had a small package. But I took that as, later on when I watched it back, I also took that as him saying you have more dick in that promo than you do in your jorts. So it's not just saying he has a small package. I thought it was more or less him saying in a different way, saying in a, different creative, savage way of another way of saying you've got more that you can deliver on the microphone than you got to deliver in the ring. That's how I took it. I think there was a double meaning there. It was more than him just saying when he said you got more dick in that promo than you do in your jorts. That was another way of saying you can deliver more on the promos than you can in the ring. That's how I took it as when I rewatched it. But yeah, once Cena first, kind of went in on Cody to start this promo off, I was like, yo, Cody, even though he said some nice stuff, I was like, Cody can still recover from this. And boy, did he, man. He fired back up and proceeded to say as well that, you want to say that I'm, basically coming off like a 16-year-old when this is the same guy who works with Zac Efron wishing he was 16, which, Zac Efron was in some, he was, one of these teenagers in the, Disney movies and stuff like that. So stuff like that, that little tie in there as he's, firing back at what Cena said. And one of the other lines he said, I wish he would have said, Cena, you're still you used to be my hero. But he said, Cena, you're still my hero, but you're also a piece of shit. I wish he would have said, you used to be my hero, but now you're a piece of shit. But either way, it was another good line. I'm trying to make sure I get the bulk of all of what he said to Cena to make sure I'm being fair here, because I went on for Cena's side a lot. I love the promo exchange between them both. I didn't think anybody won this promo, but I'll kind of say that later on what I thought. But what else did Cody say? Just to make sure that I don't miss anything. Yeah. Dang, I'm trying to think. I don't think there was any other, piece of shit, more dick in the promo, basically saying he was chosen by a guy that we don't talk about anymore. And, he also said, don't pretend like you left this place better than you found it, and you made this place easy for somebody like me to leave this place. Basically another way of saying when Cena was here, this place was not doing that good and all that well. So that's what made it easy for someone like Cody to leave and say, look at me and what I'm doing. And he said, so don't tell me about you saying that you left this, because he said that before in interviews as well, that he, wanted, his goal was to leave WWE better than he found it. And Cody was like, don't act like you left the WWE better than you found it, because, when they were declining in ratings and viewership, that was when Cena was the top guy. And Cena had all, because it's another thing that ties it in, because Cena also told Cody that when he was giving crap to do, creative wise stuff like that. When John Cena was giving crap to do, he made it great. But someone like Cody had to leave because his best couldn't wipe his ass. John Cena's like, your best couldn't wipe my ass. And he's saying, he would body him in his first breath. It was a lot of stuff Cena was saying, but I'm trying to think of another thing Cody said that I might have missed. No, I think that was it. I know the last line he said, but I'm trying to think of when Cody got the time to speak on the mic. What else did he say? Because Cena obviously said more. Like, word wise, Cena definitely said more than Cody said. But I was trying to see if I missed anything else, bro. Dang, I'm trying to see if, because the pizza, when he called him a piece of shit, that was the last line before uh um you know who before he retaliated with the before Cena retaliated from what Cody said. That was I know the last line that Cody said, but I was trying to see if you if I missed anything. I think that was it actually. But yeah, so yeah, Cody basically told Cena, yeah, that he created a lot of disenfranchised fans who made it easy for him to leave, like I said before. So yeah, I think that was all Cody said actually. Piece of shit. More dick in the promo than on the mic. The 16-year-old line, and the, you know, saying that basically Vince chose him and not the fans. And then Cena fired back with his probably most infamous line when he was like, this is not the infamous line, but he was like, you fill your head, just like the fans, you fill your head with feces instead of facts. And he was saying that I created empires for billionaires. This was the line. I created empires for billionaires. All you've done is steal money from their kids, which was just what a freaking mic drop line, because, you know, from where Cody used to work, you know, he was the person he worked for was a son of a billionaire, and now that's kind of Triple H's kind of thing. So that was freaking one heck of a killer line. So the one Cody mentioned in Vince, and the one Cena mentioning that he, you know, all he's done is steal money from the billionaire's kid, was just both bosses of each company just both got astray. But I think that was all Cody said until the end. I was just making sure I didn't miss anything on Cody's end. But then Cody told him, you know, as John Cena said that billionaire line, he was like, I'll see you at WrestleMania. And as he's about to leave, getting in between the ropes to get out the ring, he was like, no, hold on, Cena. Say whatever you want about me. Say whatever you know, after all of what I've done in my career and all of what I did, not once has a crowd chanted at me, you can't wrestle. Which was a good line too, because like, hey man, say what you want about it. And it kind of fit into the promo story here of Cena calling and saying that Cody's not really who he is and he's not that talented, he's mediocre. You gonna call me mediocre, but yet in my entire career, I've never had a crowd chant at me that I can't wrestle. You know what I'm saying? So take that for mediocre type shit. So that played really well into the story. That was a good line, and that set Cena off, and he was like pretending he was gonna do something to Cody, and then he walked off, and then he turned around to try to surprise Cody. Cody ducked underneath, got Cena in crossroads position, and indeed hit his finisher, the crossroads on to Cena, and it ended with Cena laid out, which might tell me that we may have John Cena winning at WrestleMania, considering they had him get the right, because ultimately the story in wrestling is always the face gets a lot of heat on him, or the heel gets a lot of heat on himself, so that by the time we get to the big pay-per-view, the babyface finally gets the revenge. But if the face gets the revenge early, like before the pay-per-view match, or PLE match in this case, before the big show WrestleMania, if the face gets the advantage beforehand, or if he gets his revenge on the heel beforehand for all the bad things he said, usually that means that the heel is probably going to be the one winning at WrestleMania. So you give the babyface that satisfaction of beating the heel early on by having him beat down the heel, which is what we got here when Cena got laid out with a crossroads. So I don't know. Still, that makes me lean towards Cena winning, but they could do something differently, you know. But either way, I felt both guys. Cena obviously said more, like in general, like just how many words. Cena talked way longer. Goes to show you how good Cody did firing back up, man. Cody said, you ain't about to do me like you did with Austin Theory and Roman in 2017 and whoever the case may be. I think he had a promo with Randy Orton and Miz and whoever that he cooked, and he was like, Cody said, I ain't going to be one of these guys that you cook and just run over like that. And Cody fired up well. Like I said, I felt it was a tie because even though Cena has some great lines and Cody has some good lines, I felt Cody's stuff debunked a lot of what Cena tried to say about him. And I felt that evened it out because even though Cena may have had a better line or two, I felt he debunked a lot of what Cena was trying to say about him in the bulk of his promo. So I think that, to me at least, evened it out. So I felt it was a tie in the promo exchange in the promo department. But either way, it was just fun to watch. You know, whoever you thought won is in your opinion. And some people, you know, of course, fans got to ruin it. Oh, Cena didn't even, you know, not only did Cena win, but he didn't even do his best. He, you know what I'm saying? He could have went further in on Cody. Triple H protecting Cody too much. It's just random weirdo fans who want to ruin the fun and just pick a side and make it seem like the other guy didn't do good. But yeah, shout out to Cody. Held his own. Really came off like Cena's equal on that microphone, the way he fired back up. Probably to a lot of people, Cody's best promo because this is most fired up and most, you know, articulate he's been with, like, really firing back at somebody verbally. He's never done it to like this level. And, you know, being in there with Cena does that too, you know, ups your game, forces you, no doubt, to up your game. But love wrestling, man. Love Cena and Cody and what they did in the ring tonight. I'm ready for WrestleMania, man. It's like less than 20 days left until Mania. So, yeah, trust and believe we on the road to WrestleMania. And it is going to be fun. And hopefully Cena shows up maybe one more time before WrestleMania because that was his last, that was his last date that's been advertised that he's going to be there. So, but I could see him maybe showing up an extra date maybe right before WrestleMania. I hope that happens to just give this match a little extra boost, even though this was definitely what everybody was clamoring for, the face-to-face promo battle. But either way, loved it, and I hope you guys loved it as well, man. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about it in the comments. Maybe what was your big line takeaway that you loved about it. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe before you go. And at the end of the day, what can I say? It is what it is, and what it's going to be is this project continue to come out with the content, the videos, the bangers over and over again for you guys, doing my thing and doing it well. And I shall see y'all in the next video, man. We're going to keep doing our thing until we get to the top. That is the vibe that EJ's on, and I shall see y'all in the next video. I'm out of here.